Me, my uncle, my cousin are after the carp.
Well, the fish has just rolled right on top of my left-hand rod. Go on. Where we go then, right-hand rod's in. First fish. That's right on it. I love it if that's a big carp.
Hello and welcome back to another video. Today you join me at a very overgrown Longbridge. Now I haven't been here for a few months, but it's fishing quite well apparently. We are all spawned out now. Well, we're not, but the fish are. So we've come down to see if we can catch a few carp. It's going to be a good one. I've got my family with me here today. My cousin, my dad, my uncle, my brother's coming down as well. They're going to do a bit of like match fishing. Me, my uncle, my cousin are after the carp. We're just trying to find somewhere to fish because there's a few swims close to each other, which is good. That's what we want. We want to be together. But it's very overgrown. This is what I mean. If anybody knows Longbridge, this is all needs cutting back. It's very, very overgrown now. An option, the lake's looking beautiful today. One option is to fish this canal up here, which we've done before and not had much luck on, but we're all going to get a space next to each other. In fact, a fish did show right up the end there. But if we want to fish the main lake, the main body of the lake, the only options we've got is this canal side here. But like I said, it's all overgrown. So I'm going to take a walk up this canal, see if I can see any signs of fish. Jordan's just coming down this side, so I think he's going to keep his eye out down there. And within the next sort of 10 minutes or so, I'm sure we'll make a decision. Right, so there we go then. Jordan's got the swim furthest to the left. All right, Jordan?
Yeah. Groovy.
Couple of rods out. So it's all a bit overgrown. Oh, something just moved there off the edge of that. It's not really your water, it's that guy over there. Oh, is he just cast? So there you go, that's Jordan's swim. He's forgot his foam nuggets. I've got some spare foam if you need it.
Lovely.
How are you, Rich? All right?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
You got a little bit of room here as well.
Yeah.
A bit more than me. What's your plan of attack here then?
Well, I'm gonna go bag over on the far side, slightly to the right, over probably where those white flowers are laying on the water.
Yeah.
And then probably my left-hand rod, I'll probably fish a zig, probably halfway.
Yeah.
So I'll set the depth. I'll probably fish round about maybe a foot under the surface.
Yeah.
So once I've got that sorted out.
Well, best of luck. What t-shirt have you got on today?
Oh, I'm a Viking.
I'm a Viking. And that's from Haugesund.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. Well, best of luck.
Cheers, mate.
And then we've got a spare swim here. And then, this is where I'm fishing. And Dad's right next to me, right next door, so. Got my new, I haven't mentioned as well actually, I've got some new bite alarms. Check these bad boys out. They are the NDK9s. Now, I'll leave a link in the top line of this description if you want to go and click on them and get yourself some of them, or just take a look at them on eBay and Amazon. I'll try and find the best price for you. But there you go, I think they're about 209, oh wow, I think they are exactly 209 quid for a 3-rod setup. 3+1. But there we go, yeah, so my plan, like I said, it's all a bit tight in here really. If I hook something big, I'm in trouble because I've not got a lot of room to play it in. So it's all overgrown, but I'm going to fish 2 rods. I've got that's going to be my left-hand one. I know it's my middle, but it's going to be my left-hand one over towards, well, I think Richard said he was fishing towards those white, where it overhangs there, those white flowers. So I'm just in this cove here to the right of that. And then my right-hand one's probably going to go over the back there somewhere, or maybe on the edge of these lilies. I'm not too sure yet. But again, they're quite thick, and I could be in trouble if I hook something quite big. So we'll try. I mean, I might have to put some back leads on. I mean, I think it would be silly not to be honest. But yeah, that rod's out at the moment. And then we've got Dad over here. So here's Dad's swim. I think Dad's on the, you on the waggler today?
I'm on the float, yeah, and I've got the old quiver tip, light end, heaviest tip on there.
Quiver tip and float, so that's good. That's a different approach, which is good. And then I'm guessing, what you're going to fish on the end of these lilies here, are you? Or?
On the float I'm going to try there, and I'm going to try meat under that root tree there.
Right, so float on the edge of these lilies and a bit of luncheon meat under this tree under here, and I think that looks like a nice spot to be fair. But where it's all quite close in here, I'm not going to stand on the edge of the lake for too long because, like I say, it's all quite close. And I don't really want to try and spook the fish. This is another thing as well. I've bought my spod rod. I don't know how I feel about spodding out there. I mean, it's just an underarm flick, isn't it? Let's be honest. I could probably just get bait out there without using my spod. I don't need to. I'll also be honest with you. I've not chucked out, and this could be a bad thing on my behalf. I've not chucked out a marker lead, so I've not felt for any hard spots, purely because of how close and intricate this swim is. My idea behind it is, I mean, I'm talking quite loud as well, that's not good, but if I'm stood here and I'm chucking a lead in trying to find a hard spot, it's only a very, very small amount of water I've got here. So I don't want to start crashing leads round. I'm only here for the day. I don't want to start crashing leads round and scaring them. So I've just literally gone with a small PVA bag, chucked it in, and I'm going to leave it. I've got full confidence that even if there is silt down there, that bag should be presented spot on. So there we go. That's the first rod set up. I'm going to get the second rod set up, get that out, and then I'm going to get the day shelter up and have a drink because it is absolutely stunning. Right, well, here's today's mix. It's basically, I've got, like I say, I'm solid bagging, but I'm going over the top with some of this. Now, it's quite wet. I wanted it quite, like, covered. And that is covered in a fruit and nut sauce from Parker Baits. And there's also a mixture of 14mm OG fish and 14mm fruit and nut, shelf life boilies in there. And I've added some sweet corn. It's also got fruit and nut magic dust. And it's got crushed hemp in there as well. So, like I said, it's quite sloppy, quite sticky, but I'm just going to scoop a few of them in over the top of my solid bags. And then here are my solid bags. I always go in, I don't know if you've seen my solid bag success video, but basically I've got the OG mini mix pellet in here from Parker Baits, and that's got, I don't know if you can see that, it's got some magic dust inside it. Here's the bags here. Oh, thank you very much. Here is the bags. Oh, my brother's here, by the way. I will check in with him in a minute, but here's the bags here, nice and tight. I have gone with the Avid leads and stems, and then in there I've got, I don't know if you can see that, that is my hook bait there. It's a yellow test wafter from Parker Baits. I don't think they've been released yet, which is super, super handy. But yeah, if you do want to get your hands on any Parker Baits, I've got an OG fish wafter in that one. If you do want to get your hands on any Parker Baits, guys, obviously 10% off your first order with code southcoastangler at checkout. What do you reckon then, Rob?
17 I've gone for.
Peg 17. That's up the canal, up the far side up there.
It's literally right at the end of the canal.
Yeah, and what you doing, feeder fishing?
I am.
You after some tench?
Oh, bit top heavy. I am.
All I would say is that canal up there where you're fishing is known as Grass Carp Alley.
Is it?
Yep. So,
well,
have fun with that on your feeder.
If I catch one, I'll need your landing net because I've only got a little spoon head for bream and tench. So.
Oh dear. Well, you better have your phone out somewhere on your tray, so if you do hook something big, we'll run over with
Take
the
about
net.
an hour and a half to get up there. I'm all the way at the end.
Yeah, well, goodbye. Have fun. Have a nice time. Now, my favourite flavour used to be the fruit and nut. Recently, I've been doing quite well on the fish. This is a mixture of both. Obviously, I've got the mini mix pellet in there. I've got the fruit and nut magic dust, but I'm going to inject it with some fish flat spot because, like I say, I've done quite well recently on the fish, but fruit and nut is my favourite, so nice little mix, and that caters for all the carp. But what I always like to do is stab the solid bag so that if there's any air pockets or any trapped air in there, it will just sit and escape through the holes. Then I'll make a slightly larger hole, about, I don't know, maybe one quarter of the way down. I get my flat spot. Again, like I say, this one is the fish one. Stinks. Put it through the hole that I've just made and then squirt it, but I always be careful that I don't squirt it all over it doesn't drip all on my box. There we go, and I absolutely cover it. There we go. And that is ready to go out. Happy days. Right, well, we are finally set up before it gets too hot, and look what's made an appearance. It's the helicopter. Now, the thing is, I've bought my new Fox Easy Shelter Plus, which is very, very good for using quick overnighters or a couple of nights, and also brilliant for day fishing. However, this helicopter has been so good to me. I just can't part with it. Like, it still needs to feature in the videos and in my fishing, so I can't sack it. It's done a really, really good job, so it's going to stay with me, and I am going to be using it on quick day sessions. So both rods are now out. I've got the back leads on, although the right hand back lead did give me a bit of issues because the line got caught across the top of the pads there, so I had to readjust that. But both rods are out. I'm super happy with them, and now it's just a case of sitting and waiting. Or I say sitting, I forgot my bloody chair, and so I'm gonna have to sit on a seat box, or well, I mean the ground's so sort of dry. I could probably just sit on the ground or something, or even on my barrow. But there we go. That is it. We are rocking and rolling. It's 8:30. We're fishing, and now because Dad's so close to me, my rods are literally there. I can come and pester him. I can come and pester you all day. I ain't come for a quiet day fishing.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
I've
God.
got some beers in me fishing pot.
You got some beers, have you? Oh, I'll just stay here and chat to you then. What are you using on the float?
Meat at the minute. Got some loose feed in there, 2 mil. Chicken loose feed.
Yeah, nice.
I've got me big lump of cube meat under.
Oh,
Old feeder rod under. Oh, the old quiver tip rod under the right there, under that tree. Right?
yeah, the ducks are in there already. I suppose you've thrown some feed in there, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're after that, aren't they? That'll be interesting to see that go,
I've got
tell
2
you.
mil and 4 mil.
Well, it is interesting that my uncle's actually using a zig. He's never used them before. I think he's seen me... Oh, something swirled right in front of my swim there. I think he's seen me use them. Live take. That was the liner, I think. Oh, look. Go on. This is the new alarms. That's a drop back signal. That's the right hand rod. That's weird because where that swirled right in front of the swim, literally had a bite straight after that, but I don't know if it's gone through my line. I'm backlegging, it should be on the bottom, and it swirled on the top, so that was very interesting. This is me, by the way, before you say strike, strike. Oh, hang on, let me sort my rods out. That was interesting. That was the right hand rod. The left hand rod, forgot to put the bobbin on. Something's just swirled over my left hand rod. Okay, this is good. There's signs of fish. There's signs of fish here. Right, hang on 1 second, let me sort this out. Right, it wasn't the ducks. There are fish swirling in the swim. I've had a couple of little beeps. That right hand one's dropped back. Look at the bobbin down low. Come on, that's the carp. Yeah, but like I was saying, it's interesting. My uncle's seen me do quite well on zigs. I had 4 runs at Wadmill last time we were fishing together on zigs, and he likes the idea as well. When the weather's warm and the fish are up in the water, he likes the idea, so he wants to learn and get behind it as well, because I know a lot of people sort of like turn their nose up at zigs or go, oh, I don't want to fish zigs or whatever. Until you've tried it and had success on it, honestly, like, don't knock it till you've tried it, because I had a worldie of a session at St John's at Linear. Go and check that out if you haven't already on one of my other videos. Yeah, it was a Parker Bait social at Linear on St John's, and I had a great session all on zigs. So I've got 100% confidence in zigs. But like I say, because he's fishing zigs, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on what he's doing. And if he starts catching on zigs, I might switch over. But at the moment, I'm both on bottom baits, both on wafters, test wafters, yellow ones. And already I'm getting bites, so that's good. Well, the fish has just rolled right on top of my left-hand rod. Go on. That's the right-hand rod. What's going on here? This is very positive. There's a lot of fish activity in this swim. One of these rods is about to go. Come on! Well, first blood to Dad. He's trying to get his rod out the tree, but he has gone and caught. I know this is a carp fishing channel, guys. Or it's not specifically a carp fishing, but we like any fish, don't we? And first blood to Dad. He's had a little bream. It's not bad for a first fish.
Oh, what's it, a pound?
There you go, a pound. I think it's probably just under a pound. Oh, we've just had a little bit of news. Rob's caught his first fish of the day. He's had a little bream, so at some point I am going to reel in and go up there and see him. But yeah, I say he's fishing. I can't really... I'll show you, look. We'll go over to the bridge. You can't see him, but I'll show you where he's at. Here's the bridge. Oh, hang on, look. Yeah, so he's up the top there somewhere. Can't, like I say, you can't see him, but that's where he's fishing. I think he's up there by those pads. Ooh, by those pads up there. But yeah, Billy's there. Come on, Billy Blanksaver. He's got to do his job. I say, historically, on day sessions here, I've not done that well, touch wood. Ooh, there we go. But fingers crossed, that can change today. Say, I forgot to mention actually, in my spod mix, or I say spod mix, it's almost like a, well, you guys saw it, it's like a, just sort of like a boilie mix. I also put some rock salt in there, Himalayan rock salt, which you can get from Parker Baits. It's real cheap. And I've been told that after the fish spawn, the fish look for like minerals and like rock salts and stuff, because it says, I don't know, it gives them some sort of like energy or minerals or something that they love. So I've added that to my mix as well, so hopefully they can sort of like sniff that out and feed on that. But like I say, since there was a lot of sort of like action going on earlier, last sort of half hour or so, it's just sort of died off. So I'm going to give it another half hour or so, see what happens. If there's no response, I'm going to get some more bait back out there. Oh, look. That's right on it. I love it if that's a big carp. Look, what's going on?
You don't like badass?
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's right on top of it.
Yeah.
He don't like badass. If he eats that bait, he'll have a back. Look.
If I'd have had a bit of meat on him, I haven't put no bait in there.
Is that one fish? Because there's bubbles coming up.
Probably.
Look, on the left, that's weird, isn't it? That ain't one fish, surely. Look, the bubble come up all the way to the left. Look, how big is his mouth?
That's just the oxygen trapped in the mud. And
Oh, it might be an air pocket.
yeah, the fish is just mooching it about, isn't it?
Nah, it's still there.
To over that.
Well, that was interesting. There was loads. Dad was fishing out towards the lilies. And there was loads and loads of little bubbles coming up right down in the margin. I said to him, get your bait over there quick. So we have, and there's still bubbles coming up now, and his float's right over the top of it. And it's really interesting because I thought there was a fish down there feeding, but it might just be a fish knocking the silt and like releasing the air.
Yeah, he's having a little feed there, isn't he?
It's really interesting to watch, but there's something's happening down there. So Dad's got his bait in over the top, and surprisingly, it hasn't gone off. But
I'll need to put a bit of
sweet corn or meat on there or something.
yeah, meat or corn, I was thinking.
I'd love it if there's a big fish down there and his float just goes bang, gets a new PB, gets a bucket over his head. Well, Dad's just had another bream. What's that you've had now then? 2 bream?
2 bream, 3 roach.
2 bream and 3 roach. That was maybe your biggest one. I'll put a picture on screen now. And of course he's wiping his hands because you know what bream are like, bloody snotty things. Well, I just saw something floating in the margin and I thought it looks like it's got a hook on it. I pulled it out and it's a zig. And I thought, oh, I wonder if there's anything attached to it. So I've lifted it up. Hey, I've got a 3 lead. It's a quarter one as well. Or is it a fox one? No, it's a quarter one. Happy days. I've even got a tail rubber and a leg clip. Look at that. And a swivel. And a sleeve. Lovely. What a result. Well, we go then. Right hand rod's in. First fish. It was a very, very breamy kind of bite. And it makes sense because, lo and behold, if I can finally get it. I mean, I've just given it away, but there we go. Oh, splashed me. We got a little bream. Sorry about the video in there, guys, but there we go. I mean, I'm sure you don't really want to see a bream, but there we go. It's about a pound, I reckon. But there we go. At least I haven't blanked. And I know what people sometimes say. Bream don't count, but like I said before, I go fishing to catch fish, and if I catch a bream, it's a fish. So yes, blanking on the carp in front, but a bream in the net. Well, I just had that bream. I say it's probably about a pound. Everything now stinks of monster crab because I've just sent it straight back out where it came from. So I just need to like try and hope that the smaller fish move out and the bigger carp find the bait and start moving in. That's why I made that sort of boilie mix to throw over the top, because I wanted to try and eliminate the bream bites and things like that. But the trouble is as well, is like, I'm confident that those pellets, even though they're small, I'm confident that they'll do me a bite, and that's why I'm using them. But maybe moving forward into the summer when I'm fishing lakes that I know have smaller fishing like bream and nuisance fish, maybe I'll have to upscale it. And in fact, we're coming into the sort of time now where
I might start fizzling the solid bags out and fishing actual rigs with like D-rigs, for example, with like spodding over the top with bigger baits. But there we go. I mean, like I say, it's a fish, so at least we've caught one.
Well, I must say, I do like my setup now. It looks so good. I got purple bobbins, and obviously when I've got 3 rods on, I'll have look at that. That just looks so clean, doesn't it? And the alarms look so nice. The reels sat nicely next to each other. Oh, it's just quality. I love it. I really do love it. So I'm going to get a 3rd rod. I've got 2 12-foots, and these are my 2 10-foots as well. So for the time being, at the end of the month, I've got a couple of sessions coming up. I'm going to use 2 12-foots and a 10-foot. But I need to get another 12-foot and another 10-foot rod so that I can have a proper 3-rod setup. But for the time being, I'm just going to have to make do with what I've got.
And just a quick one as well is like, obviously I've started to do these sort of like videos now with like my dad, my uncle, my cousin, that sort of thing. So if you are enjoying these episodes where I'm getting the family and the other guys involved, go down and leave a like, and there'll be plenty more where that came from. Obviously I'm still going to do my carp fishing sessions where I take it a little bit more seriously, and I try and, you know, try my hardest to try and catch a few carp, you know, possibly a PB. But when it's sessions like this, I mean, obviously I still want to go and catch a PB and a few carp, but when it's sessions like this, it's just nice to be with the family and sort of just like, well, just get out fishing with them. Do you know what I mean? So there is a definite social aspect side of it. But yeah, like I say, if you like them, go down, leave a thumbs up and subscribe.
Right, we've reeled the rods in. Dad's got a beer. He just chucked me a cider. Lovely. Other ciders are available. We're going to head around now and see how my brother's getting on. Right, so here's the sort of canal stretch. I know a lot of you wouldn't have seen this lake before, but there's almost like that bridge that we walked over. It used to be closed off from the main lake, but now they've opened it up so the fish can come down here. And this is almost like, well, where I'm fishing, it's almost like a canal, but this is like a real sort of like canal. Dad's waving me in here. Oh, has Rob caught a fish? I think Rob's in. I think he's got one.
That was good timing.
Good timing.
Yeah.
You got one in the net?
Yeah, snotter. Quite a nice snotter.
That was a bream. That's a sizable bream.
Nice bream.
Definitely the biggest one of the day.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Unless you've caught a big one today.
Nah, that's my biggest one today. That's about my 4th or 5th one, but it's the biggest one. Nicely hooked through the lip.
That's a couple of pounds, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
And where are you fishing? Down to the lilies?
Out to the left where those trees have fallen over.
Oh, yeah.
The bushes have fallen over.
So, Rob's going to talk us through his rig. You got a bit of
Yeah,
leaf or
weed
something,
hanging
yeah.
off there. Yeah. It's very weedy over there.
You can see with all the scum that's sort of like
Yeah.
blown down here. That might work in your favour actually, because you can see the water's almost sort of moving down this way,
Yeah.
bringing a lot of food with it as well. What's this, the high method feeder?
Yep, running flat feeder, so it lays that way on the bottom.
Yeah.
Little stop bead, it's running. Little stop bead, and then a hook to nylon covered in bream snot.
What sort of size hook are you looking at? Oh my gosh, that really is
A
covered.
lot of bream snot. That is a size 12.
Yeah, let me get your towel.
So I can get it off. Horrible, isn't it?
Size 12 hook, and then you've got obviously quite a dark mix here.
Yeah, it's a green mussel mix.
And have you added the corn to it, or was that in there?
corn and a bit of pellet.
Oh, you've added that yourself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and it seems to be doing the trick. I've had
Hook baits?
single corn.
Single corn on his hook baits.
Nothing fancy. Little sweet corn.
Other sweet corn is available, and
Yeah,
some
other
soft
sweet
hook
corn.
bait pellet.
Yeah, they're not very good. They're not productive.
And there you go, he reckons he's had about 5 or so at the moment, 5 or so bream,
Yeah.
and that was the biggest.
Yeah, it was nice.
And we're going to watch him cast now, so no
Oh,
pressure. Yeah, no pressure.
Hang on, let me sort my feeder out.
Well, I don't know how he's doing that. He sat right in the sun with no shade whatsoever. I was stood there for 5 minutes and I can't stand there any longer. I really can't, it's so hot. And I think that might actually make the fishing quite difficult. I've seen a couple of carp moving around in the main lake, sort of like high in the water, so I would be tempted to put a zig on. I don't know. The thing is, my uncle hasn't had any sniffs on a zig, and yes, I've seen a couple of carp up in the water, but I've not seen them feeding on anything up, like any flies or anything like that. So we're already at 12 o'clock. We're fishing. We got here at 7, and we're fishing. I got the rods out about 8:30, and the plan was to fish to about 5 o'clock. If we've had a couple, or we're satisfied with the fishing, we were going to go for food, go to the pub, whatever. But I think my uncle says we pay for a full day, so he wants to stay till 7. It's just going to be a case of seeing how the fishing goes. If the fish start feeding and we catch a few, we might be satisfied. We might go to the pub. If it seems to be a bit more difficult, we might try and wait it out, see if we can try and catch one. I don't know. I really don't know. We're going to play it by ear. When you sort of take away the serious side of it and come fishing with your family or whatever, you sort of just, I don't know, everyone sort of wants to do different things, and you just sort of like go with the flow, don't you? So Rob's going to head off in about an hour because he's got things to do. So he's had half the day. Like I say, he's caught 5 breams, so hopefully he catches another one. And hopefully we can bring you a carp or two. But I'm going to keep my eyes out and see if I can see any signs of fish feeding up in the water. And if they are, I will switch onto the zigs. But for now, I'm quite happy on the solid bags. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Left-hand rod. A carp just come out of the water. I see it fully out of the water. Probably about £10. Right, £10 mirror. I reckon it's about a £10 mirror. It come out right over the top of my spot. Now, I either need him to get his head back down, or if he comes up again, I'm moving on to the zigs. Yeah, it wasn't a massive fish, like I say, about £10, but when you see that over your spot, oh, it's exciting. Left hand rod, come on, come on. Literally 5 minutes after I said to you, I'm going to stay on solid bags, I've just put a zig out because there was a carp, and it come out. I see it about 3 times, just come fully out of the water. Proper dolphin dived 3 times, and it would come up first over my baited spot, then it come up right in front of me, then it come back over again on my baited spot. So I've set a 5-foot zig. It's just completely black foam, black zig screw, and it's 5 foot. It's out there. I couldn't ignore it. I really couldn't ignore it. There's still bubbles coming up as well, so there's still fish feeding on the bottom. So now I've got 1 on the zig, 5 foot up in the water, and 1 on a solid bag on the bottom. I'm covering all bases now, so if the zig rod does go off, I'm putting them both on zigs. But one thing I did want to say is, and I'm not sure, can you, I don't see why you couldn't, but I just wanted to know, can you back lead when you're zig fishing? I know it might sound silly, but I just think like the way that it's presented, the rig's presented, I'm just wondering if like having it backleaded would affect it. I guess not, but yeah, let me know in the comments. When you zig fish, do you backlead or can you backlead? I am sweating my absolute trousers off. Oh my God, honestly, it's so hot. Anyway, bailiff's come round. I've told him I had to switch to a 5-foot zig. He told me 5 foot was too much. He said it was over depth. He said change it up 3.5 foot. So I've gone 3.5 foot. I just want to be in those upper layers. So yeah, got a 3.5 foot zig out now on a left hand rod. I actually changed it to black and yellow. So I've got a black zig screw with a black and yellow bit of, it's like a foam, but it's like a zig. It's like a proper zig barrel foam. And then the right one is still on that solid bag. I've just chucked 3 scoops of that spod mix over the top of it to try and instigate a bite. So yeah, I mean, both rods are out. I'm happy with them now. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to sit out. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to chill out and relax and just try and cool down because I'm so hot. Well, Dad's just netted what seems to be a bigger bream, and also in the net he's picked up a load of these little fish, these little like fry fish.
Yeah.
Right, well I'm sorry there hasn't been much of an update, guys, because literally there's not been much to update you on. But I've just reeled in my zig line. I'm gonna change my zig over. It was a yellow and black one. I'm now gonna go for brown and black. It kind of looks like a dog biscuit on one side or a pellet, and then black on the other side. It's a bit like a, well, they might think it's a bug or a dog biscuit or a pellet or something. So we're gonna whip that out. We're going to get it back out over here somewhere, and then my right hand rod I'm going to redo my solid bag. Yeah, the sun's sort of slowly starting to drop behind the trees over there, but it is getting on, and it's really not been a very productive day.
Well, I just had a screaming run, right hand rod. I've literally just redone my rods. It's been out for 2 minutes. It went doodle, and I was like, yes, finally. And I've hooked it. Started reeling it in. I thought this is coming in quite easily. And guess what? It's another friggin' bream. Oh, I don't want to touch him. He's caught on the net. Let me unhook him and get him back. God's sake.
Did it? It's put in the cover.
Oh, he's live take. Oh, that was a bigger fish.
It was going, wasn't it?
Oh, Dad, it was so funny. Dad was on the phone holding his float rod, and the feeder rod started going. He's on the phone. He's just so funny. Jordan's got some bread there.
Don't throw it all in, Joe.
No, he's got it all. Yeah. Let's see how hard it is. Hang on, let Jordan show me how hard it is.
Yeah, I'll show
Go on,
you.
Jordan, show.
Play the drums.
Yeah, what happened on his feeder rod? He was on it. He was on his phone. It was funny. He's had the most fish today though, and now he's getting bored and throwing in big lumps of bread.
I'm
Now,
just seeing if they're coming up.
yeah, to be fair, the evening is kicking in. Like I said, the sun's going down, so
Temperature's down.
temperatures dropping. The oldest trick in the book. Well, I'm going to be honest, guys. This video is a bit of a squeeze. It's a bit of a push. I'd love to be able to just show you clips of carp, and we just haven't caught any. I mean, between 4 of us, no carp, just a few bream, and Dad's catching the silvers. Apart from that, there's really not a lot to show you. I've showed you where I'm fishing. I've showed you what I'm doing. And that is the truth behind my videos. Sometimes I go fishing and I blank. Sometimes I go fishing and I catch a few fish, you know. So it doesn't work out like this all the time. Sometimes we do well, sometimes we don't. I'm sorry, but if you watch my videos, that's just how it works. And I'm not going to lie to you and say I've had an amazing session and be here for a week and put it all together and say I've done it in one day. If I have a bad day, I tell you, I have a bad day. We all have them. But we are still trying, and there's still a chance, and we are still here. And Dad says he's got a motto for you all.
Yeah. The worst day's fishing, still better than the best day at work.
There you go. Whilst we're bankside, shooing away the birds and the ducks, because Dad has thrown in some bread.
And a pork pie.
That's why they've come over. There's also a pork pie, which I was going to hair rig. No, let's not get silly. I wasn't going to hair rig it. I don't know where it's gone, but there was a pork pie that's gone in. I'm guessing it's been eaten, or maybe the birds have had it or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we're trying to stay positive. What have we got left? An hour and a half?
Yeah.
Hopefully something can happen.
I put a big bit of French stick in and a big fish come up for it. So it's getting that sort of time if they're going to come up for it.
Yeah, I've still got the zig out. One on the zig, one on the solid bag. It's been a tough one, hasn't it? It's typical, isn't it? The lake's as good as empty now, and my favourite swim is this one over here, casting across to the island. But I say it's typical because we turned up and it was chock-a-block, but now there's loads of empty swims over there, and I'm pretty sure there's swims over the back of the island where the benches that are available as well now. So you turn up and you get forced into swims because of how busy it is, and then people leave early and you think, oh, now they're free, we could have jumped in them, but we're not going to move now. Like I say, it's too late in the day. We're only here for a day session. So what's that, backlids?
Walnut tree or what?
I'll show everyone your backlids. No, I've got a chicken dinner at
7
home.
grams, mate, no more.
I've got a chicken dinner at home. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Well, the pack away has begun. I say begun, it's nearly over. I think Dad's packed away, Jordan's packed away. Richard's still got one rod out, I've still got one out. Probably got 10-15 minutes to go. The zig is my last hope. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm really not feeling it. Billy, you've done your job in form of a bream. Or a couple of bream, but unfortunately it's not the ones we wanted today. It's been real tough fishing, it's been a real tough day. And yeah, I think all over the lake, I don't think any carp have been, not that I can see, but I have spoken to people over the other side of the lake. A couple of guys I recognised, a couple of people knew me as well, watched my videos, so thank you to those guys for coming over and speaking. But like I say, I don't think much has been caught over the lake. A lot of people left early, and we're all packed away, and that's it. 10-15 minutes on that final rod. Come on the zig, come on the carp, do me one bite please. Well, there we go, we're all packed away, everything's in the car, and unfortunately I couldn't bring you a banger. Like I said, I would love to be able to just bring you videos where I catch carp on end, on end, on end.
But it doesn't happen like that. This is fishing. Sometimes you blank. Sometimes it's too hot. Sometimes it's too cold. Sometimes it's just not your day. And today wasn't our day. We caught a few bream. We had a nice session in the sun, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, thank you for watching this one. Please go down, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bish, bash, bosh.